Hello, everybody in internet land. My name is Ori Halevi. Welcome to the show. This show is called Going Crazy every Monday and Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. or around that time, 7:57. I don't give a shit. Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining in. Let's do the short intro. Today, I actually was supposed to have a guest on. She's MIA, which is missing an asshole. And so I'm just going to be by myself. You write me some topics. We're going to riff on them, or I'm going to talk. Some people are going to watch the show. Maybe no one's going to watch the show. But first, without further ado, let's do some intro. And at the same time, I'll maybe share this to some groups because my wife isn't here to share it either. So if you were already watching, please share the video and welcome to the show. Wait, this is not what I meant. This is the side thing. This. What's up, everybody? How you doing? How you feeling? This is Ori Halevi right here. Was supposed to have a guest on tonight, a woman called Annika, and she's a pretty cool woman. And for some reason, she skipped on the broadcast. Maybe she didn't let me know anything. Last time she was supposed to be on, she was being a bit of a hypochondriac, and she said she wasn't feeling very well. And now she's just MIA, which is, if you don't know the term, missing an asshole. Anyway, guys, this is the show. What is the show? It is me. I'm going to riff. I'm a comedian. I'm based in Berlin. Maybe you know me. Maybe you've seen the show. Maybe you don't. What's happening here is really simple. I riff, talk some bullshit about things I'm going through. You can write me some shit. Maybe that has to do with what I'm saying. Maybe just stuff that you're going through. Maybe, just anything, basically. And I'll riff on it. That's the kind of shit I do. I ate hummus today, so I'm a bit heavy. That's the problem. I know it's highly stereotypical for Israelis to love hummus, but I fucking love hummus, man. I fucking love it. I know it's like an Italian loving a pasta, or a French person loving wine, or a German loving to be shat on. All these things that are stereotypical about certain people, but it's just the way it is. If you come from Israel, you fucking love hummus. I went to Zula Hummus today, which is an Israeli hummus. I got some hummus recommendations for you if you guys are interested. The two best hummus places in Berlin, in my opinion. One hummus place called Akum Snack. It is the other side of Azam. Here's the thing, what people don't understand about hummus, and I understand a lot of people don't understand many things about hummus, because why would you be fucking dealing with hummus all the time? It is ridiculous to always be fucking dealing with hummus. But I just love it. To me, it's like wine. I keep it around. I'm trying to find the best conditions for it, trying to find the best places for it. There is nothing like finding a hummus place. I don't know why this is so amazing. To find a place that nobody knows about, and you're the one who, it's like discovering the treasure in an island, right? So here's the thing. Azam in Neukölln. If you live in Berlin, you know Azam in Neukölln. Azam in Neukölln is nice. I'll give it that. It's a nice place, but everybody goes there, man. And I don't go where everybody goes. I'm not one of those people. There's a lot of people that I gotta go where other people, because people are smart. People are not smart. People vote for Trump, all right? So the fact that most people do something doesn't mean it's smart. So here's what I do. I walk around. I check it out. So if you're in Neukölln and you go to Azam, the other side of the street is a little place. Now, this place is not good at marketing. You can barely see it. The guy who works there is not very nice. When you go in, he's like, why the fuck did you come in here? He those people who open a place and then regret it for the rest of their life, but it's kind of making money, so they just continue to do it to get away from the family that they hate. So that kind of seems like this guy. And where does he put all his love that he doesn't have for his wife and his children? If you're watching this and you work there, I'm sorry, I'm just riffing on you, but maybe you're that person. He just seems annoyed all the time, right? So this guy, right, you go in there, you tell him, I want the hummus bitte, don't order the rest of the shit, because just the hummus is good. And you get the fucking grade A hummus, man. It's called Akum Snack. Write that shit down. Go there and then write me how amazing that was, because I don't know why, that's part of the satisfaction of kind of like recommending a place nobody else knows about. All right, so that's one thing. That's the hummus. Now, some of you are thinking, and I know because I took Brendan, who's a friend of mine, a co-producer, this is just paste. It's just weird paste, which means you never had good hummus, man. You go to that hummus place and you ask for chickpeas on the hummus because that's how you fucking eat it. And I was just eating with a Scottish guy. I was just saying, well, why do you need more chickpeas than the hummus? Because hummus is made one way and the chickpeas are another thing. And when you put the hot chickpeas on the hummus, it's just, I don't know why I'm talking about hummus so much. I just love it. Anyway, that's one place. The other recommendation I got for you is a place called Al Corniche. It's on, it's right next to Côte Busotour, right? And that place has the best masabacha. Now, if you don't know what masabacha is, that means you're not from Israel, you're not an Arab. That's fine. So masabacha is basically you take the hummus, which is made with all sorts of ingredients. You take the tahini, which I don't know why you call it tahini. It's just, I don't know why you took a simple word like tahina, and just because you guys can't say cha, oh, I'm unable to say cha. I will hurt my little jaw, little thing in my mouth. Cha. It's just hard for me to go cha. Just go cha. It's just like spitting. You know how you have some, like, you go down on a person and then you got some little hair that's still inside and you go that's hummus. It's basically the same, only it tastes better. So it's called Al Corniche, and you go to the masabacha, you ask for the masabacha, not the hummus, because what they do is they take the hummus, they take the chickpeas, and then they take the tahini, or tahina as it's actually called, and they mix it all together like an orgy of amazing things, and then it becomes masabacha, and that's what you got. And so it's Al Corniche. It costs Côte Busotour. And I discovered that place too, man. I'm Columbus of hummus. Only I don't, kill native people. At least I try not to. Anyway, guys, hi. Welcome to the show. That was my hummus rant. This is not a show about hummus. If you've never seen the show, it's just about whatever it is, I'm riffing. I'm a comedian. I live in Berlin. I improvise every show I do. If you've never seen me perform, come see me perform the show tonight if you want to come to Maz Comedy Club. This is my page, my comedy cult, Ori Halevi. You can come to this page and comment on this video, and I will then riff on whatever you want me to riff on, man. I enjoy when you guys, I just had a hummus burp. I enjoy you guys writing me some shit. And if you're watching on other platforms, you can just write on the platform you're writing, like YouTube or Twitch. That's it, man. That's what it is. That's what the show is about. What shall I talk about today? Well, it's me and my wife. I'm married. I know I don't. After that hummus rant, you're probably asking yourself, who would date this person? Well, I don't need to date. I'm already married. Poor woman. Anyway, so she also likes hummus. I showed her the beauty of hummus. This is how I make up for bad sex. Anyway, so we were supposed to go camping. Like we got like a tent. This is what we try to be German, you see all these Germans like, we are going camping. And you're like, oh, come on. And then you see all these pictures they put on Instagram and Facebook, and they send you like, look at this amazing place that Hitler got me, it's not. By the way, that's one of my things I really, like my pet peeves with Hitler. My mother wrote me today that she saw the show and she told me not to talk about Hitler so much, but hey, I got the Jewish anxiety. But there's one thing I've never understood about Hitler. If you walk around Germany, heck, if you even walk around Berlin and Brandenburg, you look around, there's plenty of space. Well, I don't understand why this guy was just walking around going like, I need more space. Really? Like, you got a lot of space, man. It's just like there's enough places for people to be nude on the lakes and nobody touching them. You don't need so much space. You got 8 million people in Israel. And that's not a lot of space, and everybody's fucking telling us to give half. I don't know why fucking Hitler was walking around going like, I feel like it's a bit tight in here. It was just claustrophobic. Anyway, we decided to go camping. First off, last year I wasn't here. I was in Edinburgh. It was kind of chilly. My wife was here. She's an actress, but she also works as a tour guide for Israelis. So she was walking around in the fucking heat. And she did not enjoy summer. So we decided this year we're going to enjoy summer. But instead of fucking looking at all these insane places people go to throughout Europe, we decided let's just explore the neighborhood. Berlin, Brandenburg, an hour away, some amazing shit. And we started going to these lakes, which are amazing. It's just amazing. Why would you go to war when you have these amazing lakes? Anyway, amazing lakes. Anyway, so we started going to the lake, and you can skinny dip, and there's some boobies around, some wieners around, anything you like is just around. There's a lake surrounded by genitals, and you can also swim under the sky and look at the moon or look at the clouds or look at whatever you want to. It's fantastic. So we enjoyed summer. And then we said, all right, now that we're doing all this once a week, we go to the lake, usually in the middle of the week, so nobody's there. And then we said, all these Germans were like, why don't you go camping? We camp all the time. This is amazing. We have camping. And we were like, yes, all right, we'll fucking do it. So Hila went to Decathlon. She got us a tent. I told her, like, listen, I'm 40 years old. I'm not sleeping on the floor anymore, all right? I don't do that shit no more. I know I'm from Israel, and we learned from the Bedouins, but I ain't sleeping on the floor. I got standards. So we bought an inflatable mattress, and we got all ready. We said first time we go camping, we're not going to go to somewhere we don't know if there's wolves or not. Let's just go to a place that's a camping place, So we booked the place for 2 days on Friday and Saturday, and I canceled shows. Like, I'm not doing shows Friday, Saturday, and now it just started raining. And I love the fucking rain, I do, but it's raining, and what am I going to do? Like, what? I hope the weekend will be a bit better, because if it rains throughout, it's just going to be a bummer, and I'm not going to get camping this summer. But this summer, in Israel, it's so fucking hot. It's like 31 degrees and 40 degrees and all sorts of shit. So I never enjoy summer because it's summer all day, all year long. It's just the sun is trying to give you cancer, It's like, are you Jewish? I'm coming. So yeah, it's kind of a pain in the ass. So I every time there was summer in Berlin, I was like, come on. And now, kind of enjoyed the summer, man. Kind of enjoyed the lakes. I understand why Germans are, freaked out when winter comes back. They're like, no, don't take the lake from me. No. Probably some of them are going like, don't take the camping away. But I can't go to camping, apparently. No Jews allowed. No, it's just raining. Anyway. Guys, today I got I'm going to do a show. It's actually Brendan. He's a guy I produce a lot of shows with. Brendan Hickey is running a show at Maz Comedy Club. You can see it on my page as well if you want to come down. It starts at 9. It's an hour from now if you want to be spontaneous. It's a philosophy versus comedians show. It's like comedians tackling philosophical issues. It's going to be interesting. I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know if I'm that smart, but it sounds good when you say philosophy. Like philosophy majors, 2 words that are masters. I have a master's in things, that sounds pretty good when people have masters. People have no job, but they have a master, and they're like, I have a master. And you're like, oh, I appreciate I will have sex with you more likely now than you don't have a master. But they have no job with it. I don't know. So master in philosophy sounds like, I'm the master of philosophy. I have the answers to the question of the universe. What do you do? I work in McDonald's. It's just weird. I don't know. What's up with you guys? Write me some comments to riff on. That'll be nice. Yeah. I don't know. I did I went to the university in Israel, where they mostly teach you about how to take stuff from Palestine. Nah, joking. It's jokes. It's jokes. So they taught me, they didn't teach me anything, actually. I went to film school. And it was a piece of shit. Let me tell you something about the Israeli industry. Now it's a bit better because we started to sell shit to the world, But when I was around 20-something, I went to film school in Israel. So basically, you have all these teachers, right? And the industry was so small that you went to the class and you kind of had a sense that they don't want to teach you anything because they're still working, and they don't want someone talented coming in and taking over the little jobs that are still out there. So you will do that instead of them. It's like, I'll teach you how to take my salary. So mostly I didn't learn anything. And mostly the people who studied with me did not do anything, I think, in the TV industry. I do work in TV. I'm a writer. I'm a director. I act sometimes. I do stand-up comedy, which no source of income. But yeah, man. But there are 2 people or one person that joined with another guy that not from my class that became like international directors. And actually Tarantino even liked one of their films called Big Bad Wolf. So it's a nice film. You should check it out. A lot of talk. So this wasn't supposed to be this today. I was supposed to have a guest, and we were supposed to talk about pronouns and all sorts of shit like that, and depression. Just had a meeting with a friend of mine. We're talking about depression. It's interesting how depression through time changes for you. You know, like when you're young and you deal with depression, first off, you don't know where it comes from. Like you always blame the outside world. This is something I noticed about us generally as people. We first tend to blame other people, you know, mostly the Jews, but if not, maybe the gypsies, maybe the gays, anybody who is standing out at that moment, you know, we tend to blame them. If you're in a relationship and there's something wrong with you, you don't feel well, you just blame the relationship. You blame the person you're in a relationship with. Oh, why do I feel shitty all the time and like a bad person? It's you! You are at fault! Yes, so that's the kind of people we are. I guess it's a defense mechanism where we just have to defend our own character no matter what, because some level of your subconscious is like, if I am mistaken, I cannot trust myself, and if I can't trust myself, then I will do a master's in philosophy and work in McDonald's. So, you know, you have to trust yourself. But so when depression hits, you're like, this is somebody's fault. It's my parents. It's the Berlin Wall. It's my penis. It's too small. It's my nipples. They're too big. It's, you know, just shit like that. But then you just realize it's a chemical imbalance. You know, it's just something that happens to you. It's like a little disease. You know, it's like depression just sits there in the back of your head, and sometimes it gets to come out and play. You know, only its version of play is cutting your wrists. You know, let's play scissors and wrists. Let's see what happens. Let's get a new knife. Let's do some new things. You know, so that's basically what depression is. So, you know, some people can't handle it. It's very, very strong. And then, so, you know, they do what they do. And then some people do how to handle it. Some people take pills. You know, but the depression is not necessarily like the worst form of things. You know, it could also be just, you know, just sitting at home and not being able to function so much, or, you know, whatever, you know. For me specifically, I have anxiety. So I just got repetitive thoughts. I can tell you, I've done this a few times on stage, just like transmitting what I'm thinking. So here's what I'm thinking right now. Is this interesting? Should I keep doing this? Are people watching this? Will people watch it? Why is nobody writing me a comment? Is it because they're not interested? Or is it because, you know, they're interested in what I'm saying? They don't want to comment. Maybe they're just looking at the freak on their screen and saying, oh, look at this freak. I'm not going to write him anything. Maybe they just find me very interesting. Maybe they don't. Why am I doing this? Should I be doing this? It's just a huge waste of time. Am I trying to be famous, but on the other hand, nobody's going to watch it and I'm going to be depressed because of forever? Should I stop doing this right now? No, just continue. It's fun. All right, I'll just continue. And let's stop this right now. So that's what basically just my thoughts in fucking 30 seconds. I just told you what's going in my head. And this happens a lot. You know, if you've heard the term overthinker, I am that thing. I am an overthinker. You know, I don't know if maybe everybody's an overthinker. I've asked these questions a few times. How do you know how many thoughts make you an overthinker? Maybe you're just a regular thinker. But then, you know, there are people like my wife who are just like, nah, I didn't have any of those thoughts right now. Hello there in your comments. Hey, Ludmila, what's up? Good to see you. Ludmila was at the show recently. I think she enjoyed herself. She added my page, and now she's writing and thing. How you doing? Are you back home? Write me something. Let's riff a little bit. Anyway, she's a cool audience member. She came to a show called Truth and Lies. Hey, Ayub, how you doing? Do you as a comedian see a connection between depression and being a comedian, or is that just a cliche? No, man, it's not a cliche. Let me tell you something. Comedians, I've discovered, especially in Corona times, that we have a problem. Like, we have a serious problem. So comedians go from mildly fucked up to completely fucked up. You know, so it's just like the mildly fucked up, you're looking at it. Now, this is my perspective. Other people might say that guy's a fucking idiot. But they're alcoholics. They're people who are addicted to drugs. That's methods of dealing with depression. They're people who are genuinely crazy. Like, they don't know it. They're fucking drama queens. Everything is a fucking story. You know, and it's basically here's a problem with stand-up comedy. Stand-up comedy doesn't require a lot. Basically, if you want to be a painter, you need canvas and some paint and some brushes, and you need to sit there, and you're alone in the room, right? So you don't get immediate attention. Writers, you need a computer, you need pen and paper. When you need to do stand-up, it's just to go to a place and there's already a mic, there's already people just watching, you know. And sorry, that's my depiction of a bad audience, not a good audience. So they're sitting there, and then these people just come up and just blah, 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 like I'm doing right now, essentially. So basically, it's open to any kind of freaking weirdo, and there are a lot of them. Here's something I realized, like, when I looked at Louis C.K., every time I looked at Louis C.K. perform, he was talking about, I don't know, some level of deprivation, some not deprivation, of perversion, sorry. I was just thinking, oh, this guy is really funny and he's making a lot of shit up. But what I realized through time is this, like after, there was discovered his masturbation thing, he didn't make this up. He was telling us about himself. Now, if you go to see stand-up a lot, I'm not talking about the dark jokes. Obviously, people don't do a lot of the dark shit they talk about. But if you notice a theme in people's show, you'll realize that they're just telling you the truth. They're not just being funny in order to be funny. They're also funny, but they're also telling you about them and their gripping addiction to alcohol and depression and anxiety and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, there is a direct correlation, I feel like, between depression and stand-up comedy. Maybe also because you need it. If you need a laugh, you need to make light. This is a way, essentially, I can tell you for myself, like this, and when I go on stage, is a lot of it is airing out shit, treating this like a psychologist. I heard this very good comedian in Israel who's famous now, right? And he said he basically put some money in a club, so he's a part owner of a club. And he said he did something I do a lot. He just went on. He had something happen to him that day. He went on stage and he just let everybody know what happened to him, and it was hilarious. It was nice. And then the day after, somebody wrote about it in the newspaper because there was like a reporter there. And he was like, oh, shit, I was just treating this as my psychological thing. I need this to tell people what's going on with me. And then that's what happened. So, there is a connection. To me specifically, depression is something, it's like a friend you don't want to call, but, he has unlimited access to your phone, just calls you all the time and tells you something is wrong. And so my anxiety, these thoughts that go, I try to tune them out. I try not to let them interfere with my life. Generally, I put them like in the background. You put music in the background. Only this is just very bad music. Maybe your life sucks. Maybe you're gonna die. Do you have cancer? Will you survive? What's going on? Very bad song. Anyway, so this thing is just and sometimes when I'm weaker, I guess, or something happens in my brain, it slowly just starts taking over my mind. And now I'm treating these constant questions as something that I need to figure out. And then it starts bothering me. And what I've learned through time is that nothing is to blame. This is just a passing cloud that's sticking around for a long ass time and sticking around like a fucking winter in Berlin. It's sticking around, man. And the only thing you can really do, or I can really do in order to help myself, is ignore it. And then everything it's saying to me is just like, maybe you should quit stand-up forever. Like, well, maybe you should sit over there and I'll just continue doing this. So, things like that. It can attack my relationship. It always attacks the things closest to you. It's like Scientology, basically. Depression is like Scientology. You heard it here first. They're going to stalk me now forever. Depression is like Scientology. It doesn't leave you alone. It wants everything from you. And it wants you to stay away from everybody until you're left alone in the room with the person you hate the most, which is you. So never give in to depression, man. It just doesn't fucking work. You can work on yourself to know how to handle it better, but will it go away? Probably not. If you're watching this and you're 13 and you're thinking to yourself, shit, this shit is never going away, it's not. But you're going to get better at handling it. And the first thing to do about depression is just admitting to yourself that you have it. Half the battle with depression is just admitting that you have this thing. It's like, imagine you have a leg that's crooked, right? So imagine that you're like, your whole life is like, my leg is not crooked at all. I can run a marathon, no problem. And then you'll hurt yourself. But people who have crooked legs, if they say to themselves, I have a crooked leg, now let's see how I can learn to run a marathon with it. Completely different story. So if you say to yourself, I have depression, I suffer from depression, that is a stepping stone. Because if not, you're just looking like, why am I feeling bad today? Is it my work? Maybe I hate my work. Is it my partner? Maybe I hate my partner. Is it my brain? Maybe I need some weed or some coke or some acid, which you could just take if you want to have it, but you don't have to take it just to battle depression. Hey, a whole fucking thing about depression. Look at that. Hummus and depression are the topics of today. All right, guys. This is the show. If you're watching this right now, just write me some comments. Let's riff about some comments. I used to do the show every day. Then I started having guests on. I have a lot of interesting guests on the thing. If you go to my page, my comedy called Oria Levy, you will see all sorts of videos and shit. And also, please support me, man. I do the show a lot. I do it just for myself, but I also do it because I want to do it. And it's, as a comedian, it's always good to have an audience. So if you like it a little bit, do someone a favor. Instead of pretending to be a good person, actually do something good for someone. Press share on the button. It's really easy to do. You just press share and you make me feel better. It's amazing. The power you have in your hand is inconceivable. You press share, and after this video, I'll go to Facebook and I see that you share it, and I'll like you immediately. I'll send you love energies. This is fantastic. All right, Ayub, let's see what you wrote. I think being a comedian require other things. All right, like what? Masturbating in front of people? Maybe not tools in the literal sense, but you need to be up to date with politics and what's going on in society. All right, listen, you wrote a big comment, so I'm going to break it down. First off, about politics. Listen, I don't keep up with politics. The only stuff I see is sometimes at Facebook, and I try not to read that shit because people have toxic opinions about this amazing, amazing world we live in today. Like, if you think that things are fucked up today, you have a problem. Like, I just go 100 years back and let me know if things are fucked up today. I mean, everybody wants to live in this utopia, right? Where everything is great and everybody's equal. I agree with the concept. We're not there yet, but at least we're heading there. If you take 100 years back, you don't want to live in that time. So, but the problem is everybody's like, look at this problem, look at this, but nobody's doing anything. Nobody's being a good person, The way to be a good person, first off, is just be nice to someone next to you, like your fellow comedian who asks you to share a video. Just press share or go to his page, look at his videos, share one of them so other people can know that he's a funny comedian. But boom, self-promotion. Anyway, so here's what I do here. Because comedians are social creatures, essentially, and they talk a lot to each other, and we have a poker game and all sorts of shit, then issues come up. And also, when you're doing stand-up, and you're creating some sort of dialogue with the audience will retort. Like, people will sometimes say shit to you. This happened to me. I kind of learned about a thing and I started bullshitting it on stage, and then someone came after me and started going after what I said, or somebody from an audience once, heckled me back and we started to have a conversation. So I kind of got up to date just from being around this scene. It's not about being, I'm not really up to date with anything. I don't give a shit, until they invent a robot that I can fuck and like that looks like an actual person. Don't update me on anything. What's going on in society, or have a willingness to be open and vulnerable. That I agree with, man. That I agree with. But I'll tell you what, I think artists generally, whether we consciously say it or not, that's our goal. We fail at it a lot. A lot of artists, I think, some people are in it for the wrong reasons. They're like, this is better than the shitty job that I do. I'm just going to tell jokes. All right, if that's your thing, great. So really, you're not really an artist. You're just a mechanic that doesn't want to fix cars. So you're coming to fix jokes, usually repeat or steal them. But if you're an artist and you're saying, what I want to do is self-expression, at a certain point, you'll realize that you need to have something interesting to say. Now, some people go to the outside world to look for something interesting to say, like, I don't know, politics, like you said, or I don't know, like whatever they're going. And some people look inwardly because they're going like, wait a minute, I don't know myself. And here's the thing, people outside, out there, you people looking at me right now, you don't know yourself either. If you just ask the question, what are you feeling today? What thoughts were you thinking today? You probably don't know the answer to that because you didn't take a minute to think it. You didn't take a minute to find out what your inner workings are. And I think artists need that in order to be, because that's what we want. We have this fucking need to express ourselves. Why am I doing this shit? I'm not earning any money from this. I just have this need. It's just a burning need at you. I don't know why. So in order to do that, part of that is also looking inward. Now you can discuss, is this because I like to look inwards and therefore I'm looking inwards, I have to get it out? Or because I like to talk a lot, so I have to find interesting things. Nobody knows. I don't know what the mechanics of it is. But that's what it is. But then you realize you can't say interesting things if you're not vulnerable, because you're going to hit a wall. You're going to hit a wall. Like, I can't talk to you without further understanding why I'm talking to you. I can't talk to you if I don't know myself. Like, I can't talk about depression, just say stupid jokes about depression. Hey, today I felt bad, so I masturbated 3 times. made me feel a lot better. That's shit, right? You have to kind of get into your own thing, like in your traumas and all that shit, and you're vulnerable. Now, again, the question, are you an artist because you're vulnerable, or are you vulnerable because you're an artist? Ask somebody else. I'm not smart. Or be at least somewhat smart. That was your next sentence. I like how that worked. I'm not that smart. I am. I've heard Jordan Peterson say once, I don't really love that dude, but I love this sentence that he said. He said, there have been tests about Ashkenazi Jews and they have high IQs. I believe I have a high IQ. I believe I'm not using it in any way. All right. And not everybody has a talent to be funny or tell a story. That's true. It can be learned through time, through hard work. I'm sure it can be learned like anything else, but some people are born with the talent. But you can learn it, man. You can. And many of my favorite artists, musicians, actors, and especially comedians suffer or suffered from depression. Look, here's the thing. This is also, many people, I had this discussion about white privilege with people, and it's not that I don't agree that white people in today's society have more privileges, but some people say, oh, you're white. And here's what I say when they say that to me. I say, I'm a Jew, all right? I have white privilege, but I didn't earn it. Okay, I didn't do anything to establish this thing, and Jews weren't considered white for a long, long time. I have this joke. I said we weren't considered white, by the Christian white people. It's really only when we started oppressing people, the whites were like, "Come on in, you're in the club now. Let's come join." So here's the thing: the thing about privileges. Look, I just watched this movie with my wife, Bridesmaid. I don't know if you've seen this movie. I saw another movie called Sisters or whatever. You just see these people, they're trying to write comedies. And what are the comedies about? I'm getting married and my best friend now has a new best friend. Why don't you just shoot me in the head and fucking kill me right now? Because it's boring. It's boring as fuck. And it's just not deep. It's just not interesting. I don't care about you and your petty little asshole problems. But when you talk to people that I have immigrants that are comedians, Syrian, Lebanese, or whatever, which is also a great part of the scene. But essentially, you talk to people, most of them have went through things in life. They encountered some sort of hardship. That hardship made them look inwardly in order to get over it. And their ability to look inwardly and the need to make that funny for themselves or to make it lighthearted so they can survive the fucking world we live in, that's what made them funny in the first place. So it's just what we're talking about is not necessarily depression, but what we're talking about is somebody that went through something, someone who is introspective enough to look at life in a way. But also you don't have to be living a life of hardship. I don't recommend a life of hardship. I'm just saying, you have to be somewhat introspective. And if it's not that, then maybe it's philosophy. Maybe it's just realizing the nothingness of what we are in the universe. But I'm really not interested. Your best friend doesn't like you anymore. This is like 19-year-old problem. If you're still writing about that when you're 40, you're a fucking asshole. That's all I'm saying. So I don't know if everybody has to suffer from depression. Hey guys, if you just joined the show, it's called Going Crazy in my page, my comedy called Oria Levy. And if you have been listening to this and enjoying this, please share the fucking page. Please share the page. Please share the shows. Today, if you want to come check me out in like 40 minutes, I'm going to Maz Comedy Club, M-A-S Comedy Club, to do a show Brendan Hickey is producing. And it is called Comedians vs. Philosophy. Every Wednesday at Maz Comedy Club, either me or Brendan are putting on a show, so come check it out. Come to my page. You can see the events. It's going to be fantastic. And also, just fucking share this. Share it with your friends. If you think they like it, if you do it for me, you do something good. Nobody gives a shit about what's on your wall. You put so much shit on your wall and pictures of babies nobody cares about. You can put a picture of this baby speaking about shit. All right. Other than that, if you got some comments, write me. I'm gonna do I don't know. Let's talk a little bit more, and then I'm gonna split to go to the show. So yeah, depression, man. I mean, if you look at depression as something that creates art, then maybe it has good things. Maybe some could argue that depression is really just you taking time for yourself to look at yourself. We don't do that a lot. By the way, my theory about why people even go to comedy, right, is because they don't want to think about shit. And now, if you've already thought about this and you can package this for me, in a funny way that won't make me want to kill myself, I'll pay for that. I'll appreciate that. I come sit down and see you make light of whatever it is that I'm going through, right? So many people are exactly the same. We're a lot of us are basically the same. Even the expression where we're outraged from shit, or where we're we want to join a thing. We know it doesn't really come from that place. It comes from some sort of animalistic place. Like, I want to join the group. I want to be a part of the outrage. Oh, here's an interesting thing I read. Apparently, all this outrage culture on social media. Apparently, obviously, marketers know everything about that shit. So news articles now are they're targeting people to get outraged, because they found that when people are outraged, they share shit. So basically, they're manipulating your psyche, because they know that you're a social animal, and you know that if your friends is outraged, you want to pretend to be outraged as well. So it's all manipulation, man. So much bullshit. So much bullshit. That's why I don't read a lot of politics and shit like that. It's all manipulation, man. That's all what they, I'm not saying they as in the deep state. This is another bullshit thing. There's a deep state, the state running a state, and who's running the deep state state? There's a deep state, there's a deeper state, and who's running the deeper state? It's the elves, and who's running the elves? It's the aliens, and who's running the aliens? It's the Jews. It's always the Jews. Yeah, it's really is. If you go on all these conspiracy shit online, it's always the Jews at the end. It's just unbelievable. It goes back to religion every fucking. They killed Jesus. I really liked the character in the book, and then they killed him. Like, all of the Jews came together, even the ones who are alive today. They came together and they killed my favorite Harry Potter character. I don't like that. So now they control the economy. Fucking dumb people, man. Can't fucking stand it. People are dumb. Look at TikTok. Fucking dumb people everywhere. This is unbelievable. There's a lot of dumb people out there. Maybe I'm one of the dumb ones. I don't know. You never know if you're dumb. Everybody thinks they're smart. Everybody thinks they're smart. This is a fallacy that we will never get over. This is the problem. I've said this on stage. Like, the teachers need to tell people that they're dumb. People need to know. If you're dumb, you need to know. Because if you're dumb and you're getting ideas, that's not good for the rest of us. Dumb people should not get ideas. There's certain age, they should take you into a room with your parents, and they should tell you you're dumb. And then the parents will be like, why are you saying my son is dumb? And you should be telling them because you are dumb. This is just, it correlates. It doesn't have to be so insulting. It's a mental issue. It's like saying you have depression. You're just dumb. Just tell us. Tell us. It's so easy to just tell people that they're dumb or ugly. It's fine. I'm not saying if you're dumb, you can't be smart, or if you're ugly, you can't be sexy. All I'm saying is tell us the truth. Why are we playing this hide and seek game of everybody can be everything? Of course, everybody can be everything. But what are the statistics we're starting from? How is your English so American if you are from Israel? That is a very good question, Ludmila. First off, believe it or not, I grew up in Germany from the ages of 2 and 6. Was before the wall came down. Fucking, I'm old. When you think about that, the fact that I'm 40 is not as old as that story of saying that. But I grew up here, and I went to an American school, so I spoke English very well. I also spoke German fluently. But then I went back to Israel, and I kept talking English with my sister. And then a good friend of mine who was into the American culture, we were talking English all the time. So we kept it up. And here's a true story, right? I'm a writer. So I started writing for Israeli TV, and I also then got international deals. Like I worked with Fox, and I worked with HBO and all sorts of stuff. And when I worked with Fox back then, what I realized, and this was one of the first deals that Israel ever sold, like internationally and shit. So what I realized talking to Americans, especially in the TV industry, that back then, if you had an accent, they looked down at you. And I had the same vocabulary that I have now, but I had a little bit of an accent. I was talking a little bit like this, not the deep, yalla ma kore Israeli accent like this, but a little bit like this, like half, And then I realized that if I change my accent somewhat, they will appreciate me more. I did it, and they did. It worked like a charm. And immediately Americans were like complimenting on my English. So the vocabulary was the same, but it was just sounded more American. Americans were like, wow, your English is fantastic. It's the same thing. So if you really want, now, my accent is just this because I kept it. Like I just started talking. It's a habit. And I used to want to live in America. Now, fucking I don't even want to get close to that place. I enjoy living in Berlin. It's a very good place to live. I think it's one of the best in the world right now, other than nature in Costa Rica and shit. But big cities go, it's a fantastic city. So, if you want to learn how to speak American, it's very, very easy. If you have this is what you need to do. You need to change your R's, all right? Because I used to say al, or al. Here's the R's are rolling, right? It's rolling. It's R. It's like a fucking pirate. Like America is going to all these Middle Eastern countries and taking over like a pirate, right? So the R, hey matey, R. So that's R, right? You take the R. That's already one step forward. And also this, they like to talk with a whole mouth as if you're think about chewing a huge vagina. I'm sorry for the graphics, but it's so oh my God. I hate those fucking American. Oh my gosh. If I hear that, I just want to shoot. I understand school shootings just from that perspective. I'm not saying do it. I'm not for it. But if you sit in a classroom and for fucking 3 years, oh my God, TikTok, you're going to shoot everybody. I get it. Awesome. I'm trying to get rid of my little accent, but the Americans love it. You have an American accent or a Russian accent? Actually, now I think it's actually better to have an accent because it's a little more exotic, I guess. I don't know if Israeli accent is so exotic. I personally don't like the Israeli accent. It just sounds a bit barbaric. As like Hamas, Makore. Yeah. I went to the market and I saw 3 pigs and I said to myself, pigs, they are good. I don't eat it. It is not kosher. I can't. It's just weird to me to talk like that. But I can, as you just noticed. Anyway, guys. If you're watching the show up till now, enjoy it, whatever. Share, please go to my page. I've got jokes about TikTok. I've got jokes about all sorts of shit. Please follow my page, like my page. My goal for every fucking one of these, I do a lot of these, some are more successful, some are less. Sometimes I have guests, sometimes not. Sometimes funny, sometimes not. But my goal is to get 1 follower or 1 like per show. So if you guys can share this shit, if you guys are watching it, come to my page, My Comedy Cult Where I Live, and like it. Why? Because I got free stand-up events in Berlin. I got this shit I'm doing. I've got interviews here with Palestinian comedian and from people from all over the world, and it's just fun. And other than that, fuck it. This show happens every Monday and every Wednesday at 7:30-ish because I'm late a lot, and that's just the way I like to do things. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Please stay safe. Don't give each other corona. Today I was in the tram. It was packed. Everybody was wearing a mask, but it was fucking packed like the good old days. And it just seems like we all just want to die. And why not? Dying is a viable option. No, don't die. Don't die. Let's live. Come see a show. I'll make you laugh. Have a good one. This was Going Crazy every Monday and Wednesday. Bye-bye.